Oh, I know, I said algebra tiles were gone. We're not going to pull out the tiles this time. We're just going to go ahead and try to envision or sketch them in. So we have a binomial 2x minus 6, and we're going to model using algebra tiles. Well, if I have two x's, I would have 1 and 2. And if I have negative 6, those could only be right here. So there's my negative 6, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. And that's our rectangle. And just like before, we can kind of practice how do we write what the length and width of our rectangle is. So if we look here on this side, this length is denoted with just x. This length here is denoted with negative 3. And this length here is denoted with positive 2 because of the positive here. So factored form would be 2 from the length here times x minus 3. That's one way to do it with algebra tiles. Now, of course, there's other methods, and I know you guys are always eager to find another method. Grev, can you explain the box method if we're trying to factor 2x minus 6?
Well, it's like if we have 2x minus 6 and it's sort of in a box, like we can create a box around these two different quantities.
All right, so we think of it as like a two-term. Whoa. We want to think of it as a two-term box. So we kind of just split our box down the side. Okay, now what do I do?
And the ultimate goal is I want to see what are the two things we multiplied together to get what's inside these boxes here. And so I'll think about what's the greatest common factor that these two things share. And looking at it, 2x and negative 6. Well, I think they share a factor of 2, have a greatest common factor of 2. So we'll pull out a 2 to the side here. And now we want to think of, well, what's left over if we pull this 2 out? So 2 times something up top here gave us this 2x. Well, that must be x. And for this next box, 2 on the side times something up top gave us this negative 6. That must be negative 3.
So how do we write our answer here from this?
Well, we took out a 2, and we know it must be 2 times x minus 3. It's the side times the top that gave us what was in the box here.
All right, and that's factored form because we have the parentheses. Another way to do this is finding the greatest common factor. So if we look at 2x, oh, I keep pushing a button, sorry guys. If I look at 2x minus 6, we can practice what we did earlier and find the greatest common factor of these two terms separately. So the greatest common factor of 2x and negative 6, just like we did here, is 2. So I can divide every term by that GCF, or 2. So 2x divided by 2 is x, and negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So there's 3 different methods that you get to choose for finding your greatest common factor and factoring an expression. I want you to press pause right now and go ahead and try the next page on your own, and we will come back with answers.